So I'm going to start with the origins of Pendragon. This is a nice segue from what you've just said. So, what inspired you to create Pendragon Reiki? What was the inspiration?
The inspiration is a funny story. I've actually it's in a book that I was part of a group of authors about stories about energetic healing systems that people have brought through, and it called the Energy Healers Oracle, which came out a couple of years ago.
Mm.
And I told this story when I was working on in the theatre. We were doing a school show, and in show weeks I do about 100 hours a week. So I was absolutely mad, crazy, busy. And I
I
was
don't know how
driving
you
back.
did it.
I don't know how I did it either. I
I
couldn't
have
believe
no idea.
I'd got the energy to get out of bed in the morning and brush my teeth, let alone work for 14 hours and do that for 3 weeks in a row. But I was driving back and I through towards home, towards Guildford, where I used to live, and I was sat at the traffic lights, and I was so tired. Lights were red, and this voice shouted at me, "Write this down."
Say, what?
Yeah.
Who are
So I
you?
thought, well, there's nobody there. There's nobody there. It's very late at night. And I got to the next set of traffic lights. They were red as well, which is annoying because it's like 12 in the
So you're
morning.
doing this.
Yeah, when
Write
there's no
this
cars
down.
around, but all the traffic lights stop. And I was just saying, write this down. I was like, what? Write what down? And I looked in the rearview mirror, and Merlin was sat in the review. So he's my energetic sort of father in spirit. He's my energetic guide, and he'd sort of guided me for 10 years or so. And I didn't normally see him clairvoyantly or otherwise, but I would have a feeling of him coming close and near, and then it would be more in meditation where he and I would converse. But he was sat in the back seat of the car, staring at me in the rearview mirror. Write it down. I was like, write what down? What do you want me to write down? And he just sort of projected this symbol into my
Oh,
third eye,
wow.
the Pendragon Reiki symbol, which uh, it was sort of emblazoned like that. Write that down. Okay, fine. The only thing I could find to write it down was an old ticket from a car park. So in Sharpie marker, I just drew this symbol, which is a triangle with a spiral in the center of it. And I just, I went, right, I've written it down. Can I go home now and go to sleep? Yeah, crazy old man. Um, and I forgot about it because I was doing the show. And then after we'd finished it, it got to the end of term and I had a bit of time. And I sat down one day with it in front of me and I sort of tuned in to him. I was like, so what's this all about? What's it for? And he showed me it as a two-dimensional symbol, then expanded it into 3 dimensions to create this Merkaba, the elemental dragons that come with it. There's a poem that goes with the each of calling each of the dragons in for this
It's a
create this
beautiful
space.
poem. Really
Thank you.
amazing.
And he sort of said, well, this is what happens. Sit yourself in it for a while, and just it'll help to tune out all of the noise because I struggle with my own mental health and well-being, for all my life, all my adult life especially. So I did. And as I did, the energy of the dragons will come closer, and I felt a bit more calm and really able to cope. And it's been a real shift. So it's probably 10 years now since that happened. And after about a year or so of me doing the work, it was sort of get it out into the world and get people involved. So I've had over 100 people initiated into Pendragon level one,
Oh, amazing.
30 or 40 into level two, and just before Christmas, just the first two Pendragon Reiki Masters uh, were initiated into the system, and each level is a step up energetically, an
That's
exponential step up.
incredible.
Yeah,
And I will concur that having done the initiate Pendragon 1 and then the practitioner, that there's a huge shift energetically between your first level and the second level. So I can imagine that when you become the master, that's big energy shift.
it
Um,
is. Yeah,
but it's such an amazing. I'm so glad you shared that story because it's such an amazing story. It's so amazing the fact that, and it was like emblazoned on um, your third eye, and it's an incredible symbol as well, the Pendragon, because it's the Illuminati, no, but it's the triangle with the swirl in it.
mm.
And actually, it's so funny because I'm looking into my own heritage at the moment. I'm connected to the sort of Maori culture in New Zealand. That actually, that swirl, that amazing swirl you have within it, is all about sort of the circle of life, life continuing energy flow. So it's just incredible that that was kind of right into your third eye. I
I
just think
kind of
that's
expected
amazing.
there to be a, like Bullseye from the Marvel universe, or from like an emblazoned thing there, or a
Just
tattoo of it. I've got it tattooed on
brrr.
my arm. Don't know if you
Oh
can.
yeah, hang on, where is?
There it is.
Ah, there it is. Oh yeah, amazing.
Yeah, you don't have to have it tattooed on you to become part of the Pendragon Reiki team, but
I've already had it done.
yeah,
No, I haven't really, but no, I will. I will. I really want one.
yeah, other people have, which is very
Yeah,
sweet. But
I really
yeah.
want to. Um, yeah, that's amazing. So, oh, this is a question that came to me. How does Pendragon Reiki differ from traditional Reiki practices? Would
Well,
you say?
I did Asui Reiki, and it's lovely and it's awesome, obviously, and it's energetic exchange and healing. Um, but what I found was that the symbols got quite complicated quite quickly. So what I wanted was to be able to use a symbol or series of symbols, because we use more than one, but they're very simple. A triangle, with a swirl in it, the infinity loop, an Ouroboros circle. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And a Triskel for the master level. So they're not complicated symbols. And with Usui Reiki, other Reiki systems, they're quite prescriptive. You have to follow the path. And what I say to people that come and do Pendragon Reiki with me all the time is, you can visualize something if you want to visualize it. You can use a mudra. You can use your intent. You can draw the symbol in the air. It really depends on how your brain chemistry works and how your energy system works.
Hmm.
So you can mold it to work the way that you work. Because I've worked in schools for such a long time, and I worked with so many different young people that had different ways of learning and working and expressing themselves. The most important part of the energetic exchange between a healer and a client is not getting in your own way too much. So what we want to be able to do is use the symbol or the mudra or the breath or the poem to be able to enhance the energy flowing between yourself and the client, rather than getting in the way of, oh, I got that dot in the wrong place. I've forgotten the little tiny bit of the bird and it's now looks like an eagle and I can't remember what making paper airplanes that are very
Just
complicated.
doing origami next to them.
Yeah, like all of too much going on rather than
Yes, I
what
so
should
agree
be.
with you.
It's about tuning into that energy, connecting with it, and then just letting it go, as much or as powerfully as you can, or, as much as the clients can receive. So I've tried to get people not to get in their own way too much, to allow them to be able to express that energy or connect with it, whichever way works best for them.
And I think you're so right. I think the beauty of Pendragon Reiki is that simplicity, because you are that channel, um, connecting in with the dragons. And I find, I'm trying to think what I would be. So I tend to feel, I don't, it's not necessarily visualizing, but it's a feeling.
Mm,
So it's almost like the energy and the feeling are channeling through, and I'm getting out of the way.
yeah,
It's a sensation. But then I do use the the symbols that I have learned from you. I do them with my hands.
mm,
I do the different, um, because that sort of helps the feeling more. It's almost like doing the symbols is then another form of channeling the energy, if that
yeah,
makes sense. But then I'm sure there are others who are very visual with it.
yeah. And the use of our body as an energy conductor is well past. You see visions of gurus and the Buddha sort of with
Yeah.
different finger positions, creating those energetic fields with the body. The mudras do the same thing, connecting in different ways. There's hundreds of different finger positions and hand positions and things like that.
Mm.
So we kind of make ourselves into a big battery or torch, and then project that energy and send that energy to our clients. The other feedback I've had from people is that it's a bit more tactile or a bit more visceral,
Yeah.
because
I've
the
had the
energy
same.
the angelic Reiki especially is very high vibrational. It's incredibly powerful, wonderful stuff, as is Usui Reiki and the other Reiki. I've done Reiki drumming. That's really cool.
Mm.
But with Pendragon Reiki, the energy can be, or it tends to be felt more, because the energetic realms in which the dragons can get, because we connect with dragons of the earth and the sea and the sky, the dimensional spaces that we're in. The angelic realms tend to be a little bit higher energetically. So I think the dragons can kind of really get into the physical realm and help, so people can feel that. And that's one of the other things I really love about it, because I was doing other energetic healing before as a healer, and I felt almost like I was cheating, because I couldn't feel the energy flowing through me to the client. So I would just sit there with my intent, which is great, and the energy would flow. And I think, well, that's lovely. I'm sure they're getting it, and I had lots of positive feedback, but I couldn't feel anything necessarily. Um, so I wanted to be able to feel what was going on a little bit more. So it gives us the opportunity as well to connect clairvoyantly or clairsentiently to what's going on, and give that feedback to people as well, should they need it. And people
Mm.
tend to quite like being able to have that description of what's happening with the energy and the chakras and as well.
Mm. Yeah, it's just amazing. And funny enough, what you've just said with I did level one Usui Reiki, and I really enjoyed it. But again, I felt the same that same sensation of, yeah, like I was cheating, similar, very similar feeling. Whereas immediately with Pendragon, I felt this incredible force of energy. So much so that when we were doing our first level one, and you said, right, it's your turn now to give me some healing, and I remember saying to you, my whole screen went black.
Mm.
We were like this. We were the two of us in the screen, and then the whole screen went black. And I said, Kieron, I can't see you. And you were really calm. You were like, it's okay. It's okay. It's just the energy. It's just the dragons coming in. And it's this big energy. He's like, I'll come back. You kept saying, oh, my face will come back. So I did the Pendragon. And then right at the end, when I finished, you came back.
Mm. And that's weird.
Big energy. And it's so weird.
But it's something that happens, and I kind of got used to it, because when I start
That's
to
why you
talk
were like,
about,
it's okay. Don't
yeah,
worry. It's fine. I'll come back.
yeah, when I have done podcasts and part of the Dragon Thunder Talks, which is a whole 24 hours of talking about dragons, different people from around the world, which happens in
Wow.
June or July, which is an awesome day. Just get used to it. Just to get, as soon as I start to talk about it, the energy that the little team come in, and it bugs up the electrics. It's just it's just the way it is. And which is ironic again, because I used to be, a theatre technician, so I should, know that things energetically shift and change. So I shouldn't be surprised that my computer shuts down.
Yeah.
And I've had my computer shut down completely before with people that I've been
Really?
working with. The whole thing has just gone to shut down, and it's fine.
Wow.
And it's, after a while it's fine. And I just, the first time it happened, I panicked, and then the second and third time, okay, well, I'm just going to wait, and then we'll tune back in afterwards.
Yeah. We'll just
Just
come
let it
back
go.
in.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've never ever experienced that before, and I haven't since with,
Mm,
the Pendragon. It's amazing. It's just
yeah.
very strong, beautiful energy. And the other question I had was the name Pendragon, does that hold significance in
Yeah. So
Pendragon?
when I've started doing workshops about dragons, um, I've always loved them. I've always been fascinated by them. So I've read lots of books about them, and I was always a bit sad that dragons seemed to be the thing that was, at the end of the thing there was a dragon in the way, or played video games, and at the end of the thing you have to defeat a dragon. And I didn't
Yeah.
think that was fair, because I'm of Welsh origin, so I love the dragons, and I always found them to be, they didn't feel right. I preferred Falcor, the luck dragon, for example, from the Neverending Story, or Peach Dragon.
Yes,
You know, they were
yes.
much happier. But so with the whole
Peach Dragon.
and Toothless and things like that were much more the way. But when I started to put my dragon workshop together, the sort of dragons showed me that they have their own sort of ascension plan, or caste system. So and it's about the number of claws on their paws. So the lowest level dragon that I saw has got 3, and then it has 4, and then there's 5. And they are the Pendragons, the highest level energies. And the Pendragon is a name that was given to people back in days of yore, back in the day, where people that were connected to or worked with the energy of dragons at a high level. So Uther, Arthur Pendragon, um, it's separate from them being kings. They were people that worked with the energy of the dragon at a high level. Pen, again, with the pentagram is the balance of the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So it's all about that balance. So Pendragon Reiki, in all of the different parts, the different the levels and the different signs and symbols that we work with, is all about balance. It's about bringing our energy system and ourselves back into a state of balance, a connection to our higher self, or whether that higher self is the sort of traditional golden light above us in a sort of heaven type of way, or the higher self, which is in the shadows, which people tend not to work with or have worked with so much in the past. And the true energy, nature, and power for me is equally down there as it is up here. So it's about that connection between those two aspects, because if we work in the shadow of ourselves, we understand that aspect of ourselves really, truly. There's great knowledge and understanding there, great power to be connected to and work with, as much as there is with a sort of divine, proper higher selves. So they're one and the same thing for me. So it's all about that balance between the two things. And the symbol from Pendragon Reiki, the dragon, is actually a drawing which my best friend did for me one birthday, of the dragon I've got tattooed on my back.
Hey.
This is my dragon. And he has, and I always get it wrong, I can't remember how many claws he has, because I had a sort of internal discussion with Merlin, because they said, you need to have 5 claws on your dragon.
Yeah.
Because you need to be the Pendragon to work with this energy. And I didn't feel worthy of it at the time. So I thought, and I think, that my dragon only has 4
Right.
claws on his paws. But I always get that wrong. So I'll need to check later.
I need to have a look at it.
Yeah.
But do you feel now you would put that extra claw on?
I think I should. I still feel a little bit reticent to do that, because although I work with the energy of the dragons all the time and I love them very much, and I'm a big flag flyer for dragons and dragon energy, I still struggle with my not being too egocentric of going, well, yes, I'm a dragon master.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
As far as the energy goes, other people refer to me as that. I have a lovely friend, Sue, who lives up north, who refers to me as DM, Dragon Master, which was nice. I thought it was Danger Mouse the first time she messaged me. Dear DM, lovely to see you. But
Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse, yeah. But no, Dragon Master. So yeah, so it's a reluctant moniker which I take. I'm very proud to be called the Brother of Dragons by the Dragon Collective, and I should be referred to as a Pendragon, somebody who works with dragon energy at a high level, because I do. But I do struggle with that moniker a little bit, because I'm yeah, I used to be a technician, so I'm all used to being behind stage.
Yeah, you're behind the scenes,
Making
aren't you?
other
You
people look
prefer.
good rather than me doing it myself. Yeah.
Well, I think that's very humble of you, because I do think your knowledge and your connection to the dragons is amazing. So maybe in the future that extra claw could
Yeah. I
make an
just
appearance.
have to
My dragon has 1 at the moment.
I don't think so. The energy that the energy work that you did for the healing with me on first level was already very powerful. So
Oh,
come a
thank
very long
you.
way very quickly. So at the very least 3 claws.
2. Oh,
Yeah,
3, yeah.
3, very least. Yeah.
um, Also, my next question, I've prepped it.
Yeah,
How
sorry.
does no, I've asked that one.
It
Ha
done. Yeah.
ha ha. I was gonna say this is yeah. I was thinking about this. How does Pendragon Reiki integrate with other spiritual or healing traditions? Do you feel?
I think, as I said, the overriding point about the initial first level is about creating that safe space, sacred space. And if you get into any kind of spiritual practice, it's about protection. And that's really important for me. If I could get people across the globe to do 2 things, it would be protection and grounding. because I think they're vitally important. And I think part of the issues that many people have is around a lack of energetic protection and grounding because of all the extra energy, different energy waves and things that we have around us with the advent of Wi-Fi systems and phone signals and all kinds of other stuff, as well as the sort of ascension of Mother Earth and moving into a different dimensional reality. So protection and grounding is very important, and so many other spiritual practices will do that. You know, the act of prayer or meditation or mantra recitation and things like that, to move into an altered state of consciousness, to be able to connect with the divine in whichever version of that you believe in, or the higher self, depending on, again, on your own personal belief system. With the creation of the Pendragon's Eye, the Pendragon Merkaba, it helps to put you in that space.
Mm.
And one of the symbols which is most maligned is the pentagram. You know, you open up any streaming service and you click on some kind of supernatural thing, and there'll be pentagrams aplenty used for devil worship and all kinds of stuff. But it was a symbol for protection. So the people that were protected are the people inside the pentagram, or they would call that presence, the demon or whatever it was supposed to be, into the pentagram so that they were protected. So the symbol itself isn't a negative symbol; it's about balance and protection. So yeah, so it's all about that, and the ideas, like we said, about the pentagram, the Triskel, the mind, body, spirit idea of that, or the maiden, mother, and crone, the before, now, and after, whatever. There's lots of signs and symbols and ideologies which are absolutely compatible. What I've found from other people as well, which is really interesting, is that when they've been initiated into Pendragon Reiki, and they've also been initiated in angelic Reiki or other energetic systems, the next time they tune in, there's angels and dragons and all kinds of things going on. And I've had many emails of people saying, well, I tried to tune in, I was doing angelic Reiki with somebody and there were dragons everywhere, or vice versa.
Incredible.
What do I do? They're in the wrong place. Well, they're not in the wrong place, because you're creating a safe space and environment. You're opening up your energy system for the best and the greatest good of your client. And if the client is yourself or is somebody else, it's for the greater good. So that you will receive, or they will receive, whatever they need. And if that safe space is there, then you're doing this thing with the best of intent for the greatest good, for the good of all, and to harm none, and all that type of thing, then it's no surprise that angels will come alongside and work alongside the dragon energy, or the ascended master collective, or the lords, ladies of Shambhala, or whoever it may be, because that safe space is there. So I always say to people, yes, it's about that connection with the dragons, the dragon energy, but if an angel pops his head in and goes, hello, can I help, then
bring
yes,
them in.
Absolutely.
If an angel's riding a dragon, why not?
Yeah, but we also see in some of the symbols in mysticism, energies like Kuan Yin, the Lady Ascended Master, or the Ascended Master, who's seen as feminine regularly, which rides a dragon. Master Merlin is seen to ride a dragon. Other angels, the Archangel Michael has a flaming sword, and he's very much synonymous with Glastonbury, which is near where I live, and he's seen in one of the churches with this sword in the tour in Glastonbury, which is seen as a big emerald dragon. And initially, I was quite knocked, thinking that Archangel Michael was stabbing the dragon, because that's seen quite a lot. And so in a ridiculous and very egocentric way, I went and tuned in meditation. I had a word with Michael. I went, what the hell do you think you're doing, stabbing a dragon? And he said, oh, no, I'm not stabbing it. I'm drawing the power from the dragon. She gives me the power to that flaming sword is the dragon fire for transformation.
So the sword is being ignited by the energy of the dragon.
Empowered by that energy.
Okay. Amazing.
So that's how I see it. Other people see it in a different way, but obviously.
Were you like that? Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, I did say. Thanks very much. Cheers. Love your work, by the way. Love your work.
I've always loved your work, mate.
Nice wings. Gotta go. Yeah. and from a sort of dimensional point of view, because we do work with all the different energetic dimensions. So the fairy realms can come in and as well and do that kind of work. So it's it creates that space, and that's what it's all about, really.
I think it's really lovely as well because you're saying it's a uniting system. So if you have tuned into Usiri Reiki, angelic Reiki as well,
Mm.
that's absolutely fine. It's all a united person centric experience for your client,
Yeah.
which is really lovely. I've had some incredible. I'm just trying to think. One of my clients, it was quite amazing. She had when I was with the Pendragon, she basically sort of now had a contact from Mother Mary and the Blue Rose,
Hmm.
and that's completely opened up a gateway for her to sort of connect with Mother Mary, which is incredible. And I had no idea what was happening. I was like, wow, you've got this iridescent blue dragon, and there's a lady now present. And the other thing that was incredible is because I'm waiting for, of course, your Dragon Rune Oracle deck, but
Mm.
I also bought that Dragon Fey Oracle deck. I think it's Lucy Cavendish that
Yeah.
you recommended. And my client pulled the Blue Rose Oracle card, which is
Amazing.
just amazing.
Yeah.
So the messages that come through are so powerful, but it is that thing of accepting everything that comes in. It is a united, unifying Reiki system, which is very
I,
special.
I think if we believe in sort of Atlantis as a high vibrational space where many of us, our souls came from, and that was the epitome of sort of spirituality or energetic work. If somebody was feeling rubbish, then they would either just go, "Oh, I'm feeling a bit rubbish. I'll fix it," and then they'll fix it themselves, or they would go to a healing space and say, "I feel a bit rubbish. Fix it,"
Mm,
and they would just be put in this space, and whatever was needed to help will help. And as those energies and vibrations lowered, and as when Atlantis fell and these things became fractured, I believe that that idea of a unified system of healing sort of became fractured. So it became different healing systems and different ideologies and crystals and colors and symbols and signs and all of this symbology that goes along with religious beliefs or ideologies. And so there is truth in amongst all of those things. So ultimately, any system which can really help and really change and really heal should be open to allowing all of those things. Science is catching up with showing that sound frequencies and vibrations heal, which is
mm,
something that we've known for thousands of years in the spiritual community. As a community, we've always sung as a group, and singing for yourself heals yourself. And they can start to show us that now with MRI scans and show the people with tumors and things being shrunk by sound frequencies. So there's all kinds of things going on that we've done for a long time. It's starting to be proven scientifically, or proven because science is about showing the absolutes. So they're showing us that we were right in what we were doing and
mm,
believing. So I think it's a step on the way to helping to unify things and bring things back to that point. All energetic healing systems have the same goal, or should have the same goal, to take somebody who is feeling something and to help them either to reveal why they're feeling it or how they're feeling it, or if there's a purpose to it, or if
yeah.
it's some other external force that's sort of stopping them moving forwards, or being the best or most authentic selves, then it can help to really change that. And again, that's something which is really important as a healer or potential healer. If you have the ability to do this thing, you should always ask to do it for the greater good of other people or whoever it is you're trying to heal, because it may be that person has to go through a crappy time to be able to then learn something or pay off a karmic debt, or
Completely.
whatever it is that they've got to do. There is those there may be a bigger picture reason for it. So if we just go willy-nilly, go, well, I can fix that and full shazam and take it away, then um, they may lose that opportunity, and it may come back at a different time, or it may not go at all.
Mm, amazing. I think it's such a beautiful way to look at it as well. And I just want to say when you were talking about it, I think for those that have been initiated onto Pendragon, thank you so much, because um, it's such an incredible, powerful um, energy system to work with. And I know that your two masters um, that have gone all the way through must be feeling like so honoured to be the first two. It must be amazing for them. So yeah, thank you. I think what you're doing is amazing. I think this is why it's really important to talk to you about it.
Oh, that's
Um,
very kind. I,
it's
I
true.
I'm really really grateful to have the opportunity, and I know that sounds contrite and a little bit self-effacing, but um, from that car ride when Merlin threw this thing in my face and went, you know, write this down, to then get to a point where people are starting to really want to get involved in it, and it has made a big difference. Initially, it made a big difference for me. I had a very difficult time with my own energy and empathy and energetically overwhelmed all the time. And I still get that now, but at least I can sit in that space and see whether that's my stuff or whether it's a collective stuff, or if
Yes,
there's
yeah,
something that
yeah.
I need to work on, to work through, or whether it's and so it gives that space, that sort of um, respite, if you will, and to
Mm.
be able to help other people to get into that space is a real privilege, and I'm really grateful for that opportunity. And if people weren't interested in doing it, then it'd just be me talking in a small room to a load of dragons, and over time that room would become padded, and I'd end up wearing a nice jacket that did up at the back with some buckles on it. So I'm very grateful for people joining in with the belief of and that energy. And we can see as well, like in the last 20 years, the shift of consciousness in has been massive, but people become far more accepting or understanding of the energy of dragons, to not see them as big, ugly, grumpy, fire-breathing
Not
gits,
at all. No.
but as more like the Eastern philosophies of kind and caring and understanding. And even the Eastern dragons still have a bit of a sort of swish in the tail.
The
But
feistiness.
yeah, and the whole video games and the whole TV thing about them being challenges, they'll challenge to make sure that you're ready and strong enough to be able to move on to the next level, to be able to expand your own consciousness
Mm.
into to a higher levels, to be able to take on those new things. Because when you do expand and do shift, like lots of us are doing very quickly at the moment, it can be really difficult. And if you're not ready for it,
Mm.
it's overwhelming and you can do yourself damage. There's no two
Yeah,
ways
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
I think as well, you said something to me. I think it was either Pendragon 1, Pendragon 2, I can't remember now, but you said dragons have an amazing ability to connect you with your conscious and unconscious mind, and even beyond that, to past life, but also your future life. And they have this incredible ability to, they'll guide you either towards a goal or a certain visualization that they want you to see. And I found that incredibly powerful for my own self if I'm working with them, that the visualizations that I'm led towards are so powerful and have such a big impact. Um, and having really started working very deeply with dragons, I see a massive change in myself, and I also see so many people saying the same to me. You seem much more. Everybody always says to me at the moment. I sort of don't know what they mean. Whether it means I've lost weight, I don't know. But they'll say like, "You look really well, Lizzy. You look really well." And then I thought to myself, "Yeah, that's really interesting. You're picking up on that energetic field, I guess, around me, and that I'm quite protected, and that there's a lot of strength behind me." Someone said to me the other day, "You seem very strong. You seem really strong." And I thought, yeah, it's because I got an army of dragons behind me, baby. But that they give you this strength to sort of a push you, but also release things that no longer serve you. And also, there's a sort of almost like an unconscious. We're going to guide you to where you need to be,
Mm.
happening at the same time.
Yeah.
It's deep. It's really deep, and yeah, I liked it when you said visceral. I would really agree with that. It is um, very visceral work. But from my own personal experience doing this work on my own to then doing the Pendragon Reiki with a client, it is amazing that everyone sort of says exactly the same thing in their own way.
Yeah,
Which
one of
is
my
amazing.
favorite examples of that was one of the really early ladies who did Pendragon one with me. She was in America and we were doing Zoom back before Zoom was the thing that everybody did before COVID. And I was going through the initiation. And in the initiation, the dragons come close. They sort of get attuned to your energy system. You get introduced to your dragon familiar or reintroduced, as it were. Everyone has a dragon familiar in a similar way to a guardian angel.
Mine's naughty.
Of course they are. They wouldn't expect anything else, would you? And so is the angel as well, and the fairies that work with you, and all of those things. Yes. And part of the initiation, the final part, is activating the palm chakras as part of that healing process. So I was drawing the symbols in and muttering and doing my thing in Welsh with that initiation. So I was picturing her hands sitting here and my hands on top with balls of energy, dragon sort of fire energy in between the two. And I was just doing my thing, singing my songs and invoking my invokings. And I had this feeling to open my eyes. So I opened my eyes, and her eyes were like this. And she saw my eye open. She went, "What the hell are you doing?" She's a big, loud American lady. "What the hell are you doing?" Oh, I'm doing the final part of the initiation. I'm just activating new palm chakras. She went, "Man, my hands are on fire. They're on fire." And of course, we're on different sides of the Atlantic in real time, and I was just doing the work, and she could feel it. And that's the lovely thing, because dragons aren't confined by linear time and space. Then there's no delay. So if I work remotely with clients, Australia, Iceland, Finland, America, wherever. If I tune in at 10 o'clock and I draw that energy in, if they're sensitive to it, people start to feel it. And like you said about clearing space, moving forwards and helping you move forwards. And part of that, protection, yes, grounding, yes, and filtering out all of that detritus from
all the detritus.
yeah. And it's like a little bit like social media. You're filtering out all the doom scrolling to get to those little things that you really need. There's the pictures of filtering out the kittens falling into litter bins and stuff like that. But you can get lost in that and not find something that you need to go through, like a
I would be on
workshop.
the kitten litter binging thing for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to get off that.
Yeah. Bears with trash cans on their heads, all kinds of stuff. They're very funny, but they don't help, and you go, oh, look, there's a mind body spirit fair down the road on Saturday. I'll go to that. And from going to that, you meet some person, you go, oh yeah, actually it'd be really nice if I went to this. And then it really helps to filter out those things and to find that path forwards. So yeah, it's really good.
It's amazing. So here's a future question. It's a nice segue. Where do you see Pendragon Reiki in the next 5 to 10 years?
Where I would like to see it is, my plan over the next 2 years or 18 months is to start to build up more people to be initiated into the first couple of levels. First level is mostly for the self, learning about the protective energy and how that all works, self-healing, healing for other people, friends and family, similar to other Reiki systems. Second level is about being able to work with other people. And then the master level, there's different extra tools about doing that. In the next couple of 18 months, I'm going to get people to become more masters and then master teachers. So they'll be able to teach. Yes, you'll get there soon, won't you? It's in May, we're doing that master level.
Yes, can't
and
wait.
Then master teachers. So people then will be able to teach the first 2 levels of Pendragon Reiki. And I just want to build that momentum and build that family and it sounds like contrite new ageism of having a family of people, but it's about connecting with that energy, working together. We've got online groups and forums as well where people can sort of connect and chat with each other and share those experiences, because the collective consciousness of mankind is accelerating. And so people are really, I had 15 years of slowly expanding, shifting, moving, going through trials and tribulations, facing shadow, all of that kind of stuff. And people now are going through it like a montage in a film in 2 minutes of going, like a Clockwork Orange fast forward of
Like
the
this.
stuff. Yeah, and they don't. Some of them don't have a choice, and they have no idea what's going on,
Yeah.
which causes huge anxiety, and people worrying if they've actually really lost the plot completely. So hopefully we can help people to be able to help themselves. And that's the biggest thing. In 5, 10 years time, I mean, I would love Pendragon Reiki to be as popular as angelic Reiki, or other forms, the big teams, lots of people doing it.
Yeah.
Because I really believe it will help people to help themselves, and that's ultimately the thing.
I do, and I just want to say I completely agree with you. It doesn't sound. I want to say detritus. You didn't say detritus.
No,
Contrite. Try.
contrite. Yes,
Contrite.
I
That's the
didn't say
word.
detritus. That's little bits of stuff you don't need anymore.
I didn't mean that. Um, because it isn't, because I think what you're doing is you're building community, and more than ever humanity needs community in whatever way that looks like. And what you're offering is, and I know that a lot of people struggle with this, but I do think it is important, is the service to humanity.
Mm.
um, some people might not like that word service, but this is what you are this is what you are offering, is a service and a community. And more than, like I say, more than ever, there's such a lack of meaning in this world at the moment, and that fear and anxiety. And for those people that are called to dragon work, this is amazing. This is like mind blowing stuff to find it. And I've reached out to a couple of people who, I think one of them actually is one of your Pendragon Masters. We've started chatting with each other, which is amazing. You're sort of like, oh, hello, it's so nice to chat with you.
Yeah.
So you're building community and you're building service. And as you say, more than ever, one of the things that Reiki does, including Pendragon, is to heal yourself and then to help others understand how to heal themselves. Um, which is amazing. And I think the same as you. And I do genuinely mean this. I don't want to sound. I keep wanting to say detritus. I don't mean detritus.
Contrite.
Contrite. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Not to sound contrite, but I see it as big as angelic Reiki, Usui Reiki, all the big Reiki contributors to this world. I see it on that same scale as well. And I would love nothing more than to be a master and then to be one of your Pendragon teachers that also goes out into the world and shares it with everybody. That would be a massive honor, because I think it is a really important Reiki offering. It's just as strong, it's just as loving, it's just as inspiring as all the other Reikis that have been established. So my next question is, are there any books, courses, or workshops that you're planning?
So the book that I've been part of was the Energy Healers Oracle, which tells the story of Pendragon Reiki in its inception. That's out and available out in the world. Pendragon Reiki itself, I am offering a week on Sunday at Sacred Space in Pyford, which is lovely. And I'm doing another workshop as well about the violet flame energy, the energy of transformation and change, and a personal alchemy on the Saturday. So it's a weekend being down and around there. The Thursday before that as well, there's a Zoom version of it online. And I've tried to put levels 1 and 2 either on Zoom or in person once a month for the foreseeable future. So on my Brother Dragons website, there'll be information about those things coming up, or on the Brother Dragons Facebook page and Instagram, there's little workshops. And some of them, the great thing about this stuff is that now we don't have to do it face to face, although face to face is lovely. But the Zooming is good, so it doesn't matter if you're live 2 minutes down the road and you want to come to the workshop or come into Glastonbury. But if you're in any other part of the world, you can still spend the day and tune in. And people have from around the world getting
And
involved.
it's just as powerful. I did both of mine with you on Zoom, and it is just as powerful as if you were in person.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about it. You can also occasionally turn your camera off and pretend that there's problems with the camera, so you can have a cup of tea and
A biscuit.
roll your eyes at my terrible jokes about 1980s popular culture. if you don't remember who D'Artagnan and the Musket Hounds were, you can just turn it off and go, oh, I have no idea.
Well, normally you and I are Eddie Izzard quotes,
Yes, there's a
and
lot
I'm
of that.
living for it. I'm here for that.
And
In big.
it is one of those things because I believe laughter is so important. I
Yes,
always have, even when I was working, back in schools and everything, to engage with people. And laughter is a great remover of barriers. It helps us to just laugh and opens up your energy system and really release. And you know, it's such a vital tool.
it is.
And
I agree.
we see the state of the world at the moment, and some of the most powerful tools to combat that craziness that we're going through is to laugh at it.
Mm.
It takes the power away from things that
Yeah,
are overwhelming and difficult. But that's not to be confused. My want and need to make people laugh. I love making people laugh. It's one of my favorite things. Helping people, making people laugh. And if I can help
do
somebody
both.
by making them laugh, then that's even better. It was a difficult one when somebody I worked with went into a sort of was very allergic to peanuts and ate the peanut, and their throat. I was taking them to hospital and their throat was swelling up. And my natural thing to do is to try and make people laugh. Of
Oh
course,
God!
which wasn't helping with his constricting airways. So I had to stop doing that.
Stop doing the laugh. Stop
Yes,
doing the
he did
jokey.
say to me, can you just stop trying to make me laugh?" I said, it's a defense mechanism, mate. I'm worried and I'm trying to. He went, no, I finally get it, but I'm going to fall over if because I can't breathe. Um,
I think the humour that you're talking about as well for me, very much in your camp there, is it's a great leveler.
yeah,
Just a brilliant leveler for everybody to unite as well. Humour.
and you know, some people take the spiritual work very seriously, and
Yes.
the important thing is not to confuse humor and silliness with a lack of taking it seriously, because I take this stuff incredibly serious. I've
Mm.
dedicated my life to it for the last 20 years. Um, but it's important to laugh and have fun as well as work hard. And that's something I took from working in schools, working in the theatre, where you go, if you ask people to do things that are really challenging and to overcome and face parts of themselves which they really don't want to face, or parts of their this lifetime or other lifetimes, or memories that they have, or sometimes really challenging things that they've gone through. And if you could help them laugh, see the funny side and the humor in it, and the joy in expressing those things, then true healing can take place. And if there was a space, if there was a laughter Reiki where you just laughed for
You're going to create that. That's what you're doing.
laughter
That's your
Reiki,
next.
just laugh at people for 40 minutes or get them to laugh. It's so healing as well.
I love it.
Mm.
Next, that's your next one. Because I was going to say, you and I had a conversation. I don't know if you remember this. We had this conversation years ago where we were talking about Monsters Inc. in the Disney film,
Mm.
because you said to me, it's so interesting, and it's such a brilliant sort of analogy of how the city in Monsters Inc. is fueled by screaming and fear, that the monsters go in and terrify the children, and that's how they power the city. But actually, they realize that laughter and joy and kindness is about 10 times more powerful, and then it totally and utterly boosts their city and like cities beyond them. And you said that to me of like, that's a perfect analogy, perfect way of showing how powerful love and kindness and laughter is. um and I loved that. That's always lived with me,
Yeah, and
that
the same is true in the Matrix when they talk about when the agent talks to Neo about the first crops of humans that were batteries when they created the Matrix, when it was all perfect and idyllic and wonderful, and they sort of raged against it,
mm,
because the human condition is conditioned to be sad and miserable. But why? Why are we conditioned to be like that? You know, is there something or someone or some group of someones that want us to be sad and scared all the time?
all the time.
Because if we're laughing and we are expressing joy and happiness, they have no power. The ridiculous spell in Harry Potter is perfect. You take something which is big and scary and something that
Yes,
you're up against, and you go, that's my worst fear. I hate it. And you make it look ridiculous. You know, Harry Potter, I can't remember who it is. Somebody takes that big spider and puts
yeah, it's
roller skates on
Ron.
it. Yep. Big spider roller skates. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ron has a fear of spiders, and that's
that's
him.
it.
He puts the roller
Yeah,
skates on it.
absolutely. And so, you know, the power of laughter and laughter and high energy connects to positive energy, positivity, expressions of the higher self, truth about our hearts, and Proper belly laughs. I visited my mum and my sister yesterday, and I said something very stupid. I made myself laugh so much I nearly wet myself. Um, but there's such joy in just being able to laugh so much. You can't. I tried to rein it in. I just couldn't. You know, those times when you can't do anything but laugh, and I felt so much better ever since.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, absolute freedom in that laughter. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah. And I think as well when you teach your Pendragon Reiki, there's so much humor and joy and laughter in it. And I think that is also part of the joy of learning Pendragon is the humor that you bring to it. You're very
Yeah,
serious, like you say, you're very serious. This is um, beautiful, serious healing work, energy shifting, energy work, but also it is laced with this great self awareness, and you have masses of humility as well, but also the humor of it is just sort of an added bonus to it as well at the same time.
it is slightly niche though. So, but I cut my teaching teeth on teaching sixth formers and 14 to
Idiots
18
like
year
me.
old young people, who you have to entertain. If you're dull, then they'll just switch off and they'll disengage completely. Especially some of the stuff when I first started to do lessons on lighting or sound, I bored people. So I bored myself. They were so dull, and you could just see all of the kids, all the young people's brains just switch to standby mode. Bing, bing,
Yeah,
bing, 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 bing. And so you have to keep people engaged, and teaching through that humor. There's silliness in there, and if there's slightly, what are you talking about? My dog does that to me all the time. I say something, what
what the hell.
what's that all
What
about? But there's engagement there, and people will remember those things hopefully, and so that's what I'm aiming for. Alongside that silliness and the joy of Jaffa cakes, obviously, very important part of
best.
my spiritual path and truth. Then
Do you do the whole full moon, half moon, total eclipse? Do you do that?
not in the Pendragon Reiki, but I do when I'm doing my full moon or new moon meditation classes.
As you should.
Yes, absolutely.
My final question for you is, what advice would you give to someone just beginning their Reiki journey?
Beginning a Reiki journey or beginning a spiritual journey or any kind of awakening to energetic healing, um, grounding, protection. Um, Protection is important, but I'm a big fan of Pendragon Reiki, obviously, and I've always loved the energy of dragons, the happy ones. My desk here is surrounded. I'm surrounded by little fluffy dragons and all kinds of things. But even if you don't tune in and connect with Pendragon Reiki, then some kind of energetic healing. But protection for yourself is vitally important. Find a way of encasing yourself in energy to help yourself, to heal yourself, to not let the detritus and the colossal fear and anxiety which is going around the planet to interfere with you too much. If you can get your shoes and socks off, get your feet on the grass, help ground that energy, which collectively as a species we don't do enough now, of
So true.
grounding, get out in nature and try to reconnect or re-engage with the beauty of the everyday. See the glory in the sunrise or the bees or the flowers of every day, the buds on the trees in springtime, the glory of the storm or the sea or whatever it is, to disconnect a little bit from the fear of what we are in a fearful time. It's a very difficult time, but to reconnect with yourself through that space. Take time for yourself, and breathe. That'd be a really important one. Grounding, protection, breathe. Breathing is so underrated, and we don't do enough of it. And it sounds ridiculous, but we don't. If you consciously breathe, take some time to really breathe, focus on yourself, take a few minutes out of every day. A really simple way to do that, which isn't connected with Pendragon Reiki, but is to think of your favorite color. And as you breathe into your heart space, just imagine a ball of light, which is your favorite color, starting off in that space and expanding out around you in all directions, left, right, up and down, forwards and backwards. So you're in this big sphere of energy. of gold or purple or green or whatever it is, and just sit in that space for 5 minutes. Do that before you go to bed, do that before you go to work, do that in the car before you get out and get into the world. Do it on the tube or the train, wherever it is you're going. Don't do it while you're driving or operating heavy machinery or anything like that. But just take some time for yourself and trust yourself. Trust that you'll find what's right for you. If Pendragon Reiki is right for you, brilliant. If working with the violet flame is right for you, amazing. If it's Usui Reiki, Reiki drumming, if it's singing, if it's what angelic Reiki, whatever it is, then trust that process, trust yourself, and just go for it.
Amazing. That's incredible advice. And as you say, it's that unique way of finding your connection to the wonder and mystery of life, isn't it? That's what it's all about. And I just want to say thank you so much for this lovely chat. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. You've always been a sort of mentor, guide, spiritual guardian for me. So it's so lovely to pick your brains and chat with you about this. I'm so excited to watch where Pendragon goes. I'm really excited to be on the journey as well. Just going back to Kieron's incredible 2 workshops, I'm part of a space called Sacred Space, which is in Perford, and we're going to be it's in its amoeba form. It's a very small little amoeba stage at the moment, but the idea is that we give you a charcuterie board of healing modalities that you can come and try. And so we're really excited to have Kieron, and I think it is 22nd of March, the Saturday, you're offering the Violet Flame workshop, and that is, I've forgotten the times. That's
10 till 5.
10 till 5. Thank you very much, good sir. 10 till 5, and then on the Sunday, 10 till 5, Pendragon Reiki level 1 initiate level. Yeah. So yes, so that's really exciting, and I really encourage people to come along to your workshops because they're very special. And for anyone who is on a spiritual quest, on a Reiki journey and are keen and interested, then please either contact me or lovely Kieron and climb aboard the choo-choo Reiki train. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, Kieron. I think it was really important to have a chat with you, and as I say, everyone see you and hear your story and all the amazing offerings that you have. And as I say, it's always a pleasure to chat with you because I know you don't really like to put yourself out there, so I'm behind you with a broom going, do it. Put yourself out there.
It's that time of like I said, of having been a stage manager and a member of the backstage crew for a long time, going out into the spotlight and standing in there, the super trooper light.
You're in the super trooper light. You're kind of just coming out the wing, aren't you? You're like, I've been in. Can I come out now? So I also want to say well done to you. Very good.
Thank you. So, and thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for taking the time to do the work. And I know that your path and that your healing and the workshops that you're starting to bring forward will make a massive difference to people. So
thank you.
Keep flying the flag and keep on doing the excellent work that you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks a million.